Hi friends, it's Miss Lino. I'm so glad that you're tuning in today for story time. Today we're going to be reading a story called Giraffes Can't Dance. And this story is written by Giles Andreae and illustrated by Parker-Rees. It's published by Scholastic. So in this story, there's a giraffe named Gerald. And Gerald doesn't think that he can dance. He's watching all the other animals dance, and they're not necessarily nice to him about the way that he moves. So as we read, I want you to think about the lesson that the animals learn in the story, and maybe sometime today you'll have some opportunities to write about it. Here we go. Giraffes can't dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. I hear some rhyming in this story. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. While I'm reading, see if you can predict what the rhyme will be. I'll give you a second to see if you can finish my sentence. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. That was a little tricky one. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. Do you think they were roaring in a nice way? Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. Not very nice, those animals. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. You can tell how Gerald's feeling just simply by his face. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing, and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're so different, you just need a different song. What do you think the cricket's talking about? You just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. Can you go outside today or listen through a window and see if you can hear the sounds outside? Maybe you live in the country where you can hear different animals, or you can hear crickets, or you can hear the wind. Maybe you live in the city where you hear cars rushing by, or honks, or people talking outside the window. Can you make that into a song? Can you hear the songs of the things around you? Or maybe simply people talking in your home, or talking in your apartment building. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. See his tail? Swish, swish, swish. He threw his arms out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Look at his face on this picture. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. I'm dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." So I want you to think about the lesson that the animals learned in Giraffes Can't Dance. And today, if you have some extra time, maybe you can write about it, or maybe you can send me an email and tell me what you think that the lesson was in this story. If you don't have my email address, it's in my YouTube description, so your family can help you find that when you click on Miss Lino's classroom. I'm excited to hear from you. I love hearing from the students that I've already gotten emails from, and I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.